All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Versatility Podcast. I'm your host, Juelz, and I'm glad to be back. You know what? How are you guys all doing? Because as you see, I got it's on YouTube now. You know what I'm saying? It's on YouTube now, so like I can actually talk to y'all a little bit more. Our following isn't amazing yet, but it's getting there. But now, I have the ability to hear what you guys have to say. I want to hear from you all. No, seriously though, like if you ever want to comment, you got any like stuff that you want to say about what we talked about or chime in on different stuff or I don't know, I want to ask your own questions and then I could bring it back in a different episode. Like feel free to do all that. We're still building, but we can do whatever we got to do. If y'all want it, I got you. Plain and simple. But as you guys can see, one of my usual jerseys are not on they're not up there. I wonder what happened. Well, playoff Pete showed up. Yes, sir. No. But for real though, my teams are showing up right now. And feels good. Feels really good. Feels really good. But we'll talk about that later. But first, y'all know the deal. We got the news today. So about the news today, I don't know if y'all heard. I know I always probably start off with that. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but basically, the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, which was a name that Republican people count or created, has been upheld by the Supreme Court after Republican states tried to get it blocked. Well, again. And so the Supreme Court also blocked this by its largest margin yet, 7-2. And from my understanding, Republicans tried to say that the Affordable Care Act like brought them harm. And then from what I remember, they said the Supreme Court was like, how can it bring you harm if you have no documentation or any situation where it actually brought you harm? So that's why they're like, yeah, we're just gonna like block this because you're tripping right now. Like, that's from my understanding, that's what happened. And also in a New York Times article by Lisa Lehrer, I think that's how you say it. After more than 70 efforts to repeal or modify the law in Congress, 3 Supreme Court rulings, and nearly a dozen years, Republicans may have finally run out of firepower to to essentially get rid of this act, which is crazy because this has like been a consistent part of many Republicans' agenda for a very long time. And now they're kind of saying they're going to stop, which if we know anything about politics, they don't stop. Like whether that's Democrats, Republicans, or anything, like they never let stuff go. Like they continually nail at it, even if it's been like 10, 20 years after it happened. They continue to bring it up over. It's like you're in a debate and like you talking with your friends, right? Like that one thing that happened that you don't mess up anything else, but that one thing, and it always gets brought up when it comes to an argument or even just friendly banter and stuff like that. That's how it is in politics. Like they said they're gonna stop, and then they bring it up again. Because it's not like who's gonna stop them. Like it's like what, and then plus it can help get people on their side. If you keep nailing that, oh yeah, I remember that one thing that happened. That's why I'm gonna vote with those people and not against those people. It's like stuff. It's like stuff like that. But yeah, but for those of you who don't know, the Affordable Care Act isn't, well, it was signed by Obama in 2010. And of course, it isn't totally perfect, like how it can increase taxes in the future. And the fact that not I think, but pharmacies have to, because they had to lower the cost of pharmaceutical drugs because of the Affordable Care Act. Like, so that gap in money, because they had to lower the prices in the drugs, or like places, other pharmacies and stuff like that, they have to fill in that money from out of their own pocket. So that's another issue that it causes. But overall, though, nothing is perfect. in politics. But here are some of the things that it does do. Like I said before, people with pre-existing conditions can't be denied coverage, which was an issue. It gives people a wider range of coverage options, so it makes insurance more affordable. There are no time limits existing on care/insurance. Let's say you had, I don't know, cancer or something like that, and then they're like, "Hey, we can't care for you anymore because like your time ran out. Like you don't have any more left in your service." Well, they can't do that anymore. First of all, that's pretty dirty to do that. Hey, you can't pay me anymore, so I'm just gonna say whatever to your cancer. I'm not gonna treat you anymore. Like that's foul. I'm just gonna keep it a bean. Like that's foul. That's really foul. Also, children can stay under parents' insurance until they're 26, which is great for college students or people trying to get up off their feet after college or like right or after high school. It's for some people it's a good transit. It's a clean transition. Other people not so much. Because some people, they get caught up in school, so they don't exactly have the time to work, or they don't get to internships because their major is not something you can exactly get internships in as quickly. Like, or just, you just didn't go to college, or you didn't have any, post-secondary options that were good for you. And so you had to build and build and build and really get back off your feet before you could start providing more for yourself. And after its first 5 years, talking about the Affordable Care Act, after its first 5 years, more than 16 million Americans received health insurance coverage. So I think overall, the Affordable Care Act is pretty good. If it were to be denied, struck down, a lot of people would lose care options and things of that nature. And that's another thing that they said. That they said about the Affordable Care Act, that if it was struck down, then Republicans would really look like villains, like for real, because so many people would lose coverage. Like whether you're Republican, Democrat, Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, like anything, any of that, like is like you could lose. Like a lot of people would lose insurance and all that type of stuff, and that would not be good. That would not be good at all. And there'd be probably riots and stuff like that. So they're saying that the Republicans kind of caught a break because they still get to go against the Affordable Care Act, if they decide to do so, which I think they probably are. But they don't, they're not actually acting upon it, and then where so many people lose the stuff. So it's like they're kind of stuck right in the middle where they can still bash it, but people are still keeping their health care and stuff like that. I don't know if I explained that well enough, but I think you guys get what I'm saying overall. So I hope Affordable Care Act stays. I feel like it'll be a good thing. Are there better ways to handle the Affordable Care Act? Are there better ways to handle insurance and all that type of stuff? Probably. Will it be reached anytime soon? I probably doubt it, because it's hard for people to compromise in the first place to even come up with plans, because y'all already know how I feel on politics. They're just stupid. Like they're just stupid because they don't know how to compromise. One of the basic things of life is learning how to compromise, knowing when and when not to compromise, and they don't compromise at all. So when you don't compromise at all, how are you supposed to get things done? It's either their way or someone else's way. And then if you're not given any leeway going on both sides, then how are you supposed to get stuff done? That's exactly why the infrastructure bill has not been passed yet, because Republicans, they don't want nearly as much tax money going towards like the richer people and stuff like that. Whereas Democrats, they're like, hey, like y'all don't even pay taxes anyway. Like y'all need to like put some money into this, the richer classes of America and stuff. But they need more leeway, but they got to be a little more lenient as well, saying, okay, we won't take so many taxes. And then Republicans need to be like, okay, here, you could take some taxes from them. But everybody's so into what they're doing that they're not like, hey, bro, like, yeah, you know what, I hear what you're saying a bit, so we'll give you a little more leeway going that way. And that, that's why I don't like politics. Nobody listens to each other. They just scream and yell at each other. That's that's what it is. But yeah, on to the next thing. COVID is weird. No, it's weird. Like, it's been a year and 3 months. I think it was March that I left school, because it was right before spring break. Yeah, it was right before spring break. So yeah, it's June now. Today's date is, oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. Happy Juneteenth. I, I'm tweaking. I'm absolutely tweaking. Happy Juneteenth, everybody. I totally forgot to mention that. When I was just thinking of the date, I was like, oh shoot, it's Juneteenth, and I didn't say anything. But yeah, happy Juneteenth to all my brothers and sisters. We were freed, officially freed when everybody knew that we were freed. Yeah, happy Juneteenth, everybody. I hope that if you're actually going to post something on social media about Juneteenth, then make sure you actually, you actually are going to do something about it and stuff like that. Like me personally, I don't think I'm really going to post much about it, but I'll acknowledge it. I definitely will acknowledge it. I might say, I'm not going to do a full post. If anything, I'll put something on my story on Snapchat or Instagram or something like that, but I'm probably not going to do a full post about it. That's just not me. Maybe the more like I get into Juneteenth and the more like I really start to celebrate it, because I feel like it should be like, for me as a Black person, I should be celebrating that more than 4th of July, but it's been engraved in me to to do stuff for 4th of July and not Juneteenth. Also, Juneteenth is just recognized as an official holiday, so that is amazing. Also, I'm really happy. I'm happy that we got that recognition. It should have been got that recognition. The fact that I didn't even know what Juneteenth was until a few years ago, and I'm 20 years old, that is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that they don't teach it in schools, or that they don't get any publicity for it. Like 5 years ago, like if Juneteenth came around, like I would just be like, oh, it's June 19th. Like that's it. I wouldn't see anything on social media or anything like that. But I want to say it's because of the George Floyd stuff that happened, because of the Breonna Taylor stuff that happened, because of all these other things that have happened over the years, year and then years on top of that, all these other Black killings, stuff like that. The Black empowerment and social media has been really instrumental. And the NBA posted, I saw it on my Twitter, the NBA posted something for Juneteenth. I was like, that's a first for me. Like I've never seen something like that before. Usually they don't recognize that type of stuff. And me personally, like I just say, like I might not post it because I'm just not used to posting it. It's not something that's been engraved in me since I was younger. Whereas 4th of July, that's been engraved in me since I was younger, to spend time with family, to post something, be like, happy 4th of July, everybody, happy Independence Day. When, yes, that was independence for Americans, but Black people, we still were barely even Americans, even though we fought in their war and we were forced to do so, in the Black platoons and all that type of stuff. And it's cool. And then we still weren't recognized as citizens and weren't released to slavery and weren't officially out of slavery till about mid 1800s. I don't know why I'm blanking out on the date right now. I'm pretty sure I've studied this 1,000 times. But yeah, so it just feels good that we're being recognized more. I pray and hope that like I just get more used to this. I might have to just force myself to celebrate Juneteenth a bit. Not force, but like force myself, like get into the habit of doing it. I remember in the episode of Blackish, Andre Johnson, that's the father in Blackish. I love that show, by the way. Also, I love Grownish. I'm iffy on Mixedish, but Grownish is probably my favorite out of all of them because it deals with college stuff and kid stuff. I'm not kid stuff, but college stuff, and then I can relate to that a lot. Like, I go to HBCU, they go to PWI, but it's still like they do have that part about the Black areas and all that type of stuff, which is really good. Y'all should check it out. But that's besides the point. But they had an episode of Blackish where Juneteenth, I think that was one of the first time I realized that, oh, Black people actually celebrate this. And Dre forced his family to like celebrate Juneteenth every year because Juneteenth is their 4th of July. Like that's what it was. And that's when the idea first popped in my head. Like, dang, maybe I should be doing a little more about Juneteenth. Like, I think it's going to take a little while, because even today I have a whole day planned already of stuff that I'm going to do. And Juneteenth is just not was not a part of it. Like, I feel like it should be. I feel like everybody's just gonna go about their day for the most part. Now there are some specials going on like NBC and I think like CBS and ABC. No, ABC, not NBC. ABC. They have like I think Morgan Freeman and like Obama and no, it's like Obama and some other people are doing it. They're like hosting it or something like that. I think Yara Shahidi is gonna be a part of it. She's, for those of you who don't know, she's the main character on Grownish and one of the original characters on Blackish as well. She's the daughter of Andre Johnson, senior, by the way. But her's gonna be part of it too. I'm like slowly remembering, but like, yeah, like I love how they're gonna have specials and stuff like that for Juneteenth. And I feel like in a few years, like I'm gonna like make sure I always celebrate Juneteenth. That's what it feels like, at least. Yeah. But yeah, happy Juneteenth, everybody. I hope we can celebrate this more in the future. Yeah. But back to what I was saying before I was gladly sidetracked by Juneteenth. COVID is weird because me personally, I'm so used to wearing masks everywhere, like literally everywhere. I have all these masks. Like, look, I have for those of you who don't know, this is the Akatsuki. It's an Akatsuki mask. It's pretty nice. Shout out my granny. She makes all my masks for me. I mean, I'm a child at heart, so I have a Batman mask too. My family's big on like, what's the name? My family's really big on what's the word? Cartoons and superheroes and all that type of stuff. So I grew up on that type of stuff. That's why I love those masks. I got a Avengers mask thingy right here. Got a Brewers one. Like, I have a Morgan State mask. Like, I have all these different masks. I got a mask even with my name on it. It says Juelz and has like music stuff on it. Shout out my granny again, because she's the best. She's the best at it. She really is the best at it. She made a few masks for my friends too, and they love them too. So, but yeah, COVID is just really weird because like after especially when I got all these new masks and stuff, I'm like, do I even need to like wear them anymore? Because I'm going into some stores, like it's like I want to say it's about 70-30. 70% of people are still wearing their masks, but then 30% of them, depending on the store at least, they're not wearing them. Like, I'm seeing them walk out of stores and like I'm thinking like, oh, did they just take their mask off right when they left out the store, or did they just not have it on the whole time? Whereas before, it was like 10% of people were only not wearing masks. And then they just got, hey, bro, I need you to put your mask on. Now, it's weird because you're like, I can't really tell you to put a mask on anymore because you might be vaccinated. Like me personally, I've been vaccinated since the week before my birthday. I think it was April 19th I've been vaccinated. And 2 weeks after that was like May 2nd. So that's when I'm fully vaccinated. That's when it fully takes effect. And like, I don't have to wear masks anymore, or I do, like, it's weird because like if somebody wants me to wear a mask, I don't have an issue wearing it, especially because I got all these cool masks. Like, I'll wear them. Like, why not? And then when because for those of you who don't know or don't see me on social media, like I've been at the Bucks Plaza like a lot, and I don't wear masks there, like because I don't have to wear one. But even when I keep going down there, like I have my mask like around my neck, like and like grabbing it, about to put it on, but I'm like, do I need to, or do I not need to? Like, I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do. And it's just really weird because then it's like I said, if somebody asks me, if I'm around them, somebody asks me to put on a mask, I would do it. Like, it's not an issue at all. It's not an issue at all. But it's like when I don't need to put it on though too, then I'm like, I won't put it on. I don't know. It's really weird right now. It's just really weird. I feel like because the mask mandate in Wisconsin has officially ended. It's been a few weeks now, so it's just weird. Like, even though I'm not putting on my mask as much either, but still, it's just weird. I had that preset like tendency to throw on a mask when I go somewhere, And I always bring one and I have it in my glove compartment too, like just masks in there, like just sitting in there, like ready to put them on. Even when I DoorDash, I still put on masks because it's like, well, first of all, DoorDash tells you to put on masks anyway. But oh my gosh, it's so weird. It is just really weird. Moving forward, like especially when like the COVID like technically ends. Actually, Australia has been done with COVID since like the fall of 2020. So, and they were like partying and all that type of stuff. So it's yeah, like it's really interesting. I don't know. Like I really don't know what to say about it. It's just so weird. But yeah, so that's the news today. The Affordable Care Act, Juneteenth, apparently, and then just COVID is weird. COVID is just weird. COVID is so weird. But yeah, moving on. So this is a topic that like this is something me personally that I really don't like. So as growing up, especially like in high school, I started watching a lot of sports stuff. For those of you know me, I'm really big on sports. Something I definitely do want to continue to talk about and continue like to analyze and stuff like that moving forward, especially basketball, because I have like always had like a point guard and like a coaching mentality when I watch it. So I see different things. I don't know enough terminologies and stuff like that because I didn't get into like playing basketball as much, but like I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to sports when I'm not BSing. And so everybody knows they have sports talk shows and stuff like that, right? Like say for instance First Take or Undisputed or First Things First or my personal favorite, The Jump. But you know, all those type of sports shows, and a lot of them, especially nowadays, I'm missing one too. There's another show. It's like it's got like a red logo on it. I forgot. It's with Emmanuel Acho. Good guy, by the way. He has the Uncomfortable Conversations with Black People. That one's really good. But like a lot of those sports talk shows, they're just yelling at each other, and it's really like irritating. And the main culprits to this, for the most part, are people like Kendrick Perkins and Stephen A. Smith. Now, granted, they can analyze games and stuff like that, but they just come at people sometimes. Like I understand, like we do that a lot in the basketball community. Like we, you know, especially if you used to play, or like especially like in Kendrick Perkins' case, you're gonna just come at people. But at the same time, when you're on national TV, it's like why are you being like extra right now? You know, like I get it. Like there's times, but when you continuously do that repeatedly over and over and over and over again, it's irritating. So let's say like Giannis and Paul George, two of my favorite players, right? They'll praise them forever. And then they'll get all the slander though. Like even like Giannis has been consistently dropping 30 points a game in this series against the Nets. But they continuously like just pick on him, saying, "Oh, he needs a jump shot," or "He's not a Batman," or "He's just a Robin." And I'm like, bro, he literally showed up in every single game. Has he messed up sometimes in the clutch? Yes, but has he been literally carrying the Bucks the whole time? Yes. And then in Paul George's case, he's not putting up scoring numbers like you want. Like he's averaging like 20 plus, but he's literally the facilitator for the whole team, and he's literally one of the glue pieces for this team. He doesn't shoot efficiently every night because he is a streaky shooter, and he always has been for the most part. But he's done his job every day, like on defense, on offense. Like he's doing his thing. But they only recognize him when he does, you know, like scores 30 plus. Like Paul George is not just somebody that scores 30 plus. That's what you want him to be, but he's more than that. He can facilitate, he can play defense, he can grab rebounds, he can galvanize the troops just a little bit. Not as much as people like LeBron or I'm drawing a blank at the moment, or Curry or Draymond or something like that, but he does his job, you know. And a lot of people, like, they just want to pounce on the opportunity to come at people. Like it's irritating. Like it genuinely is irritating, especially when it's two of my favorite players, like Giannis and Paul George. It's very irritating, like how everybody wants to get on their flaws, but then they don't want to get on other people's flaws and stuff like that. It's beyond irritating. And then like you got the pandemic piece stuff, and then just because the Clippers are already like the laughing stock of the NBA, or were the laughing stock of the NBA, then people want to pounce on it even more. And then they're also like a lot of Lakers fans are mad because Paul George didn't go to the Lakers, and instead he went to the Clippers. So it's a multitude of stuff like that, and it's really irritating. And then like I heard on Thursday, that was June 18th, was yesterday, Kendrick Perkins said Giannis played a great role as Robin to Chris Middleton's Batman. And I'm just thinking to myself, I said, what? I didn't watch the episode. Like I literally saw this on Twitter because I got a whole bunch of Bucks fans on my Twitter and stuff like that. Follow me at Deacon Juelz on Twitter if y'all want to follow. Don't worry, when NBA season is over, I'll tweet about much more stuff than just basketball, and more than just my Packers too. But like that was crazy to me because Chris Middleton, for those of you who haven't been paying attention to the series, Chris Middleton has been pretty bad on the road and then great at home. Giannis has been great in every game except for one. And that was in the game 2, like 50-point blowout, basically 49 points. We ended up losing by 39, but either way, we got our asses handed to us. Doesn't matter. Either way, we ended up, now it's a tie series and it's game 7 tonight. We'll talk about that later. But Giannis has bought out literally every game. So 5 out of the 6 games he's bought out. Middleton has bought out in 3 of the 6 games. And then you're going to talk about Chris being the Batman? No, Chris is being the Robin. Chris is being the Robin. Robin finally showed up and Batman got some help. That's what happened. And Robin did a little more than Batman in that game. But in game 7, which is tonight, and I'm going to the Bucks Plaza today for y'all don't know. I'm going to post this like right after I'm finished with this. It's like, why you even do that? Like why did Kendrick Perkins even say that? Like it's because he's continually it's really backtracking. Like that's what it really is. The fact that people always backtrack, like they don't want to backtrack. So they stick by their points on national TV because they don't want to be wrong. That's really what it is. And he always talking about Kendrick Perkins specifically, talk about how he, preaching the gospel and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if you're wrong, you're just wrong. Like it's okay to be wrong. Like nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. I'm wrong all the time. And I think I'm still doing pretty good for myself. I've said I'm wrong on this podcast previously. There's nothing wrong with that. And, it's just really irritating. Like they just flat out disrespect players and just ignore the good things that they do because they want them to be something else. Not Giannis is a big. He is. He's a big that can dribble and he can drive to the paint and he has an occasional. No, he has a less consistent mid-range, but it's more consistent than his 3-ball. That's an occasional 3-ball. His mid-range is much better than his 3-ball. But, and then that even gets me to the point of how Zion Williamson in 2019-20 season, he was getting all the praise in the world. And everybody was like, oh my God, this phenom, stuff like that. But then as it went to the next season, then it was all about LaMelo Ball. And they just stopped talking about Zion really. It was just like, okay, like I don't see anything about Zion anymore. And then you got cases where like smaller market teams, like if Giannis wasn't on the Bucks, they wouldn't talk about them. They're only going to talk about, they'd rather talk about like a terrible Lakers or Knicks team than they would a mediocre to good Pacers team or something like that. That's playing really well, but they just won't give them any type of publicity or any type of, time of day, because that's not what's going to sell headlines and stuff. They're going to get their views off of the Lakers and the Knicks, because guess what? Those are populated areas. Those are famous teams. They can lose forever, but they know people click on the stuff. And that's why my boy Lonzo got a lot of hate, because he's a rookie and then he didn't play as well as people wanted him to play as a rookie, second pick. And they act like every second pick, every top 10, top 5 pick is supposed to just come out the gates just swinging and stuff. And then they don't want to put in the other factors about coaching and fit and like injuries and all that type of stuff. And they just want to get on players. That's their job. That's literally their job, to just get on people. And that brings you to the point that's why I love shows like The Jump. That's my favorite show, basketball talk show. Also Through the Wire, but I like The Jump better at the moment. I love Through the Wire. That's with Kenny Beecham and Pee Wee the Plug. I don't know why I can't for reason not Derek Mills and Mike. They four childhood friends who talk about basketball and stuff like that. But it's really interesting. Because I love The Jump. I really do love The Jump. I'm sorry, I got caught up, but I really do love The Jump because The Jump is just it gives everybody their shine. Like it'll talk about the weakest teams, but then it'll also talk about the best teams. It'll talk about the teams in between. It'll also, like, instead of just yelling about what they should have not done and all that type of stuff, like they're actually having analytical conversations and giving me stats to back up why they say these things. It's not just trolling or hunting for social media clicks and likes and stuff like that. Like it's not that, or not just blasphemous takes and stuff like that. Like I actually want to hear breakdowns and stuff of the game. And then plus it's funny and it's family friendly and stuff like that. So it's just really like, and it doesn't give me a headache. Like First Take and First Things First and Undisputed, like they give me headaches because it's just the BS they be talking about. Like, what do you even talk? Like, I watch these games and I'm like, are y'all not seeing what I'm saying? Like, if you can't tell that Michael Budenholzer is one of the main issues as to why the Bucks have not won a championship in these last 3 years or gone out sad in these last 3 years, he doesn't make adjustments. His rotations suck. And then he's so stubborn. And that's why he doesn't make adjustments. And if you can't say that on national TV, that's the issue, instead of just saying, oh, Giannis just not ready for the moment. No, Giannis shouldn't even be bringing up the ball all the time. He should be going off pick and rolls and stuff like that. But Michael Budenholzer got it in his head to just keep taking at the top of the key and just running at people, which he can do at an elite level. And it's not just because he's long and athletic, but because he knows how to use his body. Not everybody who's 7 feet can run and jump like that. Taco Fall cannot do that. Who else can't do that? Boban cannot do that. Who else? Alex Len, he's like 6'10", 6'11". He can't just do that. Just because you're tall does not mean that you can do what Giannis or Bron and all of them do, or Ben Simmons when he actually plays good. He sucks right now. He's a liability. Gobert. Oh, yeah, Gobert too. Liability, trash, garbage. You should not have won Defensive Player of the Year. Can't do anything in the playoffs at all. And Giannis literally can't shoot, but yeah, he's scoring 30 plus in the playoffs. But y'all don't want to get on Gobert though, who literally just got exposed in game 6 of the Clippers game. And you don't want to get on Ben Simmons enough because he's literally not, he's scoring single digit points. He's not even getting double digit assists, double digit rebounds, or anything like that. He's garbage. Liability. Please trade him. Actually, no, keep him 76ers, and then we can beat y'all. My Bucks could beat y'all, or my Clippers too. One other. But still, it's just stuff like that. And the jump, like, they won't even get on like Gobert and them like that. They'll tell you why, like, they actually are liabilities and stuff like that. Like, that's why I love the jump. I feel like everybody should watch the jump more. Everybody should pay attention to the jump more. Jump should get much more love than First Take and Undisputed and all those other places, in my opinion. That's just how I feel. But yeah, so that's how it is. Yeah. All right. So, and then these final 2 things is the fact of my Bucks game 7 is tonight. Let's go. Let's go. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. But I'm not at the same time, because if we lose, I'm going to be very depressed. Or maybe not. I don't know, because I kind of accepted our fate at this point, because if we lose, Budenholzer gets fired. If we win, well, we could potentially win the championship. I mean, and even if we win the championship, I still want Budenholzer fired because he's trash. We've been the best team in the series, the better team in the series, and we keep selling because Michael Budenholzer doesn't want to make adjustments. Play Bobby Portis and Bryn Forbes more, please. You should be. Bobby Portis has gotten no tick since the second half of Game 5, which is just disrespectful on so many levels. And some of the other people who are getting time over him, it's ridiculous. Budenholzer said that it's just hilarious. He said that we didn't play Bobby. He didn't play Bobby Portis because we needed spacing. Bobby Portis averages 45% from three. I think that's as much spacing you can get, and he can play inside better than Brook Lopez sometimes because he actually steps up on screens. People like KD, like Brook Lopez. How do you not step up on the screen, and Kevin Durant is coming into the mid range? That doesn't make any sense at all. But the Bucks, they need to just keep attacking the paint more and then move the ball, and then we'll literally win. That's why we keep blowing leads, because we don't move the ball enough, and then we just keep trying to shoot threes. Like, why would you shoot threes when Brooklyn is small? They want you to shoot threes, so then they can get back in the game because they have enough scorers to do so. Continue to use Giannis as a pick and roller. I mean, as the roller in the pick and roll. Put Giannis on KD, please. And don't overhelp. But sometimes you might have to. Like, don't overhelp on KD all the time. That's why I feel like KD, Giannis should be on him more of the time because he can get more of a contest. And he can get more of a contest on him, and he has had a history of being pretty good on Kevin Durant. They said like in a game in like 2018, Giannis was guarding KD, and he ended up getting KD ejected from that game because of how well Giannis was guarding him. Who was the coach at that time? Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd knew that he had to put Giannis on KD. Jason Kidd would have known to put Giannis on Jimmy Butler earlier. Jason Kidd would have knew to put Kawhi on Giannis. I mean, Giannis on Kawhi earlier. Jason Kidd still was not as good as a coach as we needed, but still, like, there's a whole bunch of other coaches. He's literally the only coach that'd be like, no, Giannis, you just play help side on Jeff Green or Joe Harris. Budenholzer would do that. Nobody else would do that. Like, it's stupid. You have one of the best defenders in the league, and you don't put him on. I don't get it. PJ Tucker's doing a great job though. But at some point you got to mix it up and put KD. If KD's cooking PJ Tucker the whole game, even though PJ had a good game on him before, like, put Giannis on him. Plain and simple. Like, it's not hard. Drew Holiday though is playing like shiitake mushrooms. Shout out Spy Kids. But he's still better than Bledsoe. He's shooting too many threes like Bledsoe did, but at least he can use his side and he can make better than Bledsoe, and he can get inside shots better than Bledsoe because he's taller, and use his sides to his advantage. Brooklyn can't defend him in the paint. Not James Harden, not Mike James, not Landry Shamet, not any of them. They can't guard him. So just Drew, keep packing the paint. And we should be able to get this win. Game 7 against tonight. I'm going to the Bucks Plaza tonight. It's going to be very interesting. I'm going to have fun. That's my goal. I'm going to have fun. Regardless of what happens, I'm going to have fun. And we're just going to deal with whatever happens. Will I be mad or something afterwards? Probably. But, I asked for this. I continue to root for this team, even though I know that we have issues. And, I'm a diehard fan. I'm ride or die for my teams. And that's why I stuck with my boy Paul George, like I said before. And he showed up, and he showed out. He scored 30-something points in game 5 to go up 3-2 into game 6, and then with no Kawhi at that, he dropped 38, I think, or 39 in game 5. And then in game 6, which was yesterday night, he had like 28, 29 points. And then Reggie Jackson also had like 28, 29 points. Reggie Jackson has been the X factor, has been the unsung hero. I think they called him Mr. June. Like, that's what they want to call him now, because he's been balling his ass off. He's hitting tough shots, playing defense. Like, he's getting a lot of minutes in the game, and he's making the use of them. And without him in the Dallas series, I don't think they would have won. Without him in this Jazz series, I don't think he would have won. because even before Kawhi was out, he was stepping up. He was doing his thing. And then when Kawhi stepped out, he still did his thing. And then in game 6 yesterday, the least expected person, one of the least expected people showed up. Terrence Mann. I don't know if y'all even know who I'm talking about right now, but this guy, this man, Terrence Mann, showed up. He's a second-year player out of Florida State, I think. I think one of my friends has said that. And he just balled out. He hit 7 threes. And guess who was supposed to be guarding him in the corner on the threes? If you guessed Rudy Gobert, then you are correct. This is my problem with big men. If they're too focused on the paint, and in today's NBA, if you cannot close out on a shooter, on a 3-point shooter, especially when they are hitting and you continuously just stay in the paint like, oh, they're just not going to make the next 3. If was 6 for 9, and then on the 7-3, you still decide to leave him be and then try to protect the paint, you're an idiot. And that's another reason why I don't like Brook Lopez. That's idiotic. Why are you not stepping up on the 3 ball? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all for you not to step up on the 3. They're shooting the lights out and you continue to sag off. That's forget the paint. Protect the 3. 2 twos is 4 points. 2 threes is 6 points. 3 twos is 6 points. 3 threes is 9 points. 4 twos is 8 points. 4 threes is 12 points. It's basic math. You're a lot. Rudy Gobert is a liability, and on top of that, unlike Brook, at least Brook can shoot on the outside, and then he can kind of mix it up and go inside and outside and take advantage of mismatches. Gobert, he can't spread the floor not a single bit, not a single bit. So if Rudy Gobert was on our bench instead of Bobby Portis, and he said, "Oh, we didn't play Rudy Gobert because of spacing," that's a much different thing. Because Rudy can't hit a 3. I don't even think he's hit a 3 in his career. So he's a liability. He's literally a liability. And then if you get him out on the perimeter, or if you put a body on Rudy, like, you can easily score on him. Like, Terrence Mann dunked on him like 2 times in the last 2 games. He dunked on him twice. That's the defensive player of the year, getting dunked on twice. Yeah, all right. And then on top of that, and on top of that, Rudy, he can't guard people on the perimeter at all. Like, they literally just get past him. I remember like a few years ago, he got cooked by Curry badly, made him turn around in a circle, bro. Like, literally turn around in a circle, and then Curry just laid it up. He said, yeah. Like, I was like, bro, that's just a liability. I've never been a fan of Rudy Gobert, and then just this playoffs just proves as to why I'm not a fan of him, because he just can't do anything else. Like Giannis, you can say all you want, but at least he can still score when in the playoffs. When, even when people triple team him, he still scores 20 plus. He doesn't score 28, 30 like he usually does, but he still scores 20 plus, and he has an impact on the floor because people funnel towards him. But if people can't hit shots, then how is he supposed to do what he's supposed to do? But back to the Clippers. Paul George has been playing his butt off, and Reggie too. Like I said, Terrence Mann balled out. Paul George is being a great playmaker for the team. You thought it'd be Rondo, but no, Paul George is like balling his butt off, getting people involved. And I predicted Clips in 6, and they just won in 6. So I'm getting better at my analytical stuff. You know what I'm saying, man. You know what I'm saying. And then I also predicted Bucks in 7. So I'm kind of built diff right now. I predicted that the Suns would win. I thought they win in 6 though, not 4. I didn't think they were gonna sweep them, but I guess the Nuggets just ran out of energy. And then I predicted Sixers in 6. They just forced a game 7 yesterday, so I can still get the Sixers part right. So we'll see what happens. I'm kind of hoping that the Hawks win though, because then I'm pretty sure my Bucks can beat the Hawks. I'm pretty sure we can beat the Hawks. I'm pretty sure we can beat the Hawks if we beat the Nets tonight. So yeah. Oh wow, I'm looking at my phone right now, and Terrence Mann last night, he only missed 6 shots, and he shot like, I want to say over 20 times, and he had 39 points. That's crazy. He was locked in. Kawhi was gone, no problem. He said, "Don't worry, I got it." Reggie Jackson and Paul George was like, "Don't worry, we got it." Like, come on, man. Like, that's lit, bro. And this is the Clippers. Oh, this is the Clippers' first conference finals in years. CP3 tried to do it forever with Blake Griffin, but they had injury issues and they were quote unquote cursed. And then Kawhi and them, they dropped the ball last year. They had 3 chances to close it out and they couldn't close it out. That was painful back then because my boy Paul George was getting slandered as Pandemic Pete. It was tough. It was tough. Tough. But they finally broke through. And now like the longest franchise, no, the longest time that a franchise hasn't made a conference finals in any sport is now the Hornets. It's been like 31 years. So, it was 50 years. It was like 51 years for the Clippers. So they finally broke that. Now they have to get to the finals. And so it's because it's been 51 years since they've never been to the finals either, because I think they were created in 51 years ago or something like that. So yeah. Just overall, my players and my teams, especially Giannis and PG, they've been through a lot, but now they both have a chance to continue to prove their doubters wrong and continue to put their teams in a position to win a championship. It's been a really long time coming for Paul George, especially been through a lot of slander. And then Giannis, he's only 27, but he's been through so much slander in the last few years, even though it's not entirely his fault. It's coaching. It's people not being able to hit shots anymore. It's people doing dumb stuff. It's not having any offensive sets. Like, I'm literally talking to people who literally played basketball, stuff like that, and they even know, like, bro, they don't even run offensive sets. And then the defense is stupid because they don't put Giannis on the best players. Giannis, you just got to be like, bro, I'm bump what coach says. I'm guarding the best player on the court because I need this dub. So this has been a great season for me. Compared to last season, because at least we ain't gonna go outside against the Nets if we lose. I mean, even though they're injury ridden and we're totally healthy. And besides, Jordan Aurora is hurt, so I mean, but he don't get minutes. He should get more minutes. Thanks, Bud, for being a terrible coach again. And I can't wait to tune into the rest of these games in the NBA. I have a chance where Clippers and Bucks could be the finals, and both of my quote unquote teams. Well, Bucks are my team. Clippers is just because of Paul George. Make sure I clarify that. I'm not a Clippers fan. I'm a Paul George fan, but because of Paul George, I'm a Clippers fan at the moment. So you guys get it, right? That makes sense, right? Right. But yeah, so I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to see all this stuff happening, especially after last year. Both my teams went on in the second round in embarrassing fashion. Clippers blew a 3-1 lead. Bucks just got gentlemen swept in embarrassing fashion. So yeah, I can't wait to see what else happens. It's been a great summer so far. Go check out my friend Cam Will, his album. I'm gonna shout it out. I'm gonna shout out my boy Cam Will. Go check out his album. Separate, or is it album or EP? I suck with musical terms, but please, make sure y'all go check it out. It's about like 7, I think it's 6 or 7 songs. It's like 20 minutes long, so it's not a hard listen while you on your ride to work. Just listen to it. It's pretty nice. He's pretty good. He's up and coming artist in Milwaukee. Us Milwaukee artists and all that stuff, and just people from Milwaukee because he went to my school too. We all gotta stick together and stuff like that. And this, I think it's one thing I'm gonna talk about this in a different podcast too. But make sure if y'all can click and like share celebrity stuff, then there's absolutely no reason as to why you can't share your friend's stuff, especially if it's good. If it's not good, I don't blame you. But if it's good, share your friend's stuff. It's not hard. And the fact that it's weird to ask your friends to share your stuff, and the fact that you even have to ask sometimes, it's really ridiculous. Share your friend's stuff. It's not hard. You share celebrity stuff all the time. but you can't share your friend's stuff, especially if it's good. That's ridiculous. But yeah, so thanks again, everybody, for listening to the podcast. I think this one's going to be about 50 minutes to an hour. As I'm looking at the time, I think I started around like 10:15, 10:20. So, yeah, shout out everybody who stuck it out to the end. If you got any questions or any comments or anything, make sure you comment on the YouTube underneath below and stuff like that. Thanks again for supporting me. I'm going to continue to do this podcast. I'm going to try to do more episodes more frequently, get, people back on here, whether they're reoccurring guests or new people. We're building. We're not the most consistent, but we're doing it at the very least. And I got a lot going on at the moment. So yeah, love y'all. Stay safe. Bucks and 7, Clips and 6. You already know what to do. Paul George, playoff P, and the Greek Freak are doing their things. So stay easy, be safe. Figure out if you're gonna wear a mask or not. But be respectful regardless. Yeah. So thanks y'all. Thank y'all. Thanks y'all. Okay, I'm tripping. All right, bye. Love y'all.